Welcome back to the Boomer Boys podcast. This is episode 4, and we've got a fun one in store for us. We've got our first guest on the podcast today. We're going to go a little Q&A, as well as we got some fun planned for you. So let's get right into it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Boomer Boys, and today we have the great privilege of our first special guest. This is Dillon Ballard.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dillon, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on here. Thanks for having me. So I grew up in Tuttle, Oklahoma, and for college I went to OU, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, but I know I needed a job while I was in school. So I did some looking online and found the head of the department for graphic design. It was something I had done throughout high school. Shout out John Baker. Reached out to him and eventually got hired, got to work in graphic design with the team for 4 seasons, and I just graduated in December of 25 with a degree in finance, and now I'm out in the banking world and getting after it.
There we go. That's awesome. So, Dillon, if everybody wants to know, Dillon is my cousin, so this is a little family tradition. So, but yeah, like you're saying, Dillon, you're part of the graphic design team for 4 years of your college career. Dillon, you do a lot of the Tuttle High School football, graphic designs, the video production, what you do. So we think that's awesome. A lot of the pictures you guys see on OU football might have came from Dillon Ballard himself. So, let's get into this, Dillon. So let's just tell us about some of your favorite experiences you've had at OU and like your time with the graphic design team. What were some of your favorite experiences you had?
Oh gosh, there were so many, and I got to work with so many cool people. Made so many special relationships along the way, and some of the most vivid memories I have are recruiting photo shoots, and we're up there, sweating our butts off outside. It's 105 degrees in the summer. We're taking pictures for hours, setting up, tearing down, and then we're up there trying to turn around the pictures by the next morning so the kids can have them. And I mean, there was one time we were leaving and the sun was starting to come up. So lots of fun moments in those. Lots of good time spent with friends up at the facility. Lots of awesome games I got to be a part of as well, but lots of fun stuff.
Going from the games, do you have a specific game that you were able to take photos or that was just like, wow, like this is awesome?
Man, there was a lot of amazing moments. There was just sometimes like I'll never forget how loud it got down there, and it doesn't do it justice when you're in the stands. Then you get down low in the bowl, like on the field, it's insanely loud.
Really?
Several of those are just the whole Tennessee game. I know we don't talk about the outcome of our season with Jackson Arnold, but that game was as electric as I've ever felt in the Palace, for sure. The Michigan game this year was unbelievable. That first drive.
When Dion scored on the little jet sweep pass. That play anything.
No, that since you mentioned the environment, can you tell a difference between the past couple seasons and being in the SEC rather than the first few?
One of the things that I think our fans bring it always, but one of the things that I've noticed is traveling fans in the SEC bring it. Like when you had a Big 12 team coming in, and no knock on the Big 12 teams, but I mean West Virginia coming in November versus an Ole Miss coming in halfway through the season. I mean, it's different. Their fans bring it.
Yeah, Rocky Top was loud.
That was probably
I heard it way too many times.
It was just that just makes it a lot better, but it also pushes us, to have a little bit more pride. When they're playing their fight song, It just pushes us to go a little bit louder. And so I think that's just insane that you're able to be on the field for that.
We're talking about like the games that you've been a part of, Dillon. I know vividly it was the game 2 seasons ago when we beat Alabama. It was our 6-6 season when we beat Alabama at home to kind of knock them out and stuff. I remember we were watching it at home. I was watching at home, and I remember like, dude, is that on the field? It was right when Kip Lewis got the pick six. So tell us about that. You were right there in front of it. How loud, and just talk us through that whole play and what you were shooting while he's running into the end zone.
Oh my gosh, dude, that game, that's probably my most memorable game, just because we had some games along the year that, I mean, it was always fun to be on the field shooting, but sometimes that fan down inside of you, you got to be professional. You can't be celebrating on the field. You're working. But sometimes that fan inside you, some of those games, it was a little sad, but I mean, that one just rejuvenated us. I mean, we go into the locker, or not, I'm not going to the locker room. We go in our little room at halftime. And I mean, we're having to think of, okay, if this really does go our way, we got to have a plan to like get our equipment out of the way. So people
what did you do after that? What was the immediately once we premature rushed the field? What were y'all doing in that? Were y'all just out?
Oh my gosh! So that game, I was actually on the field and I was shooting like, the first half I shot the backside of our offense and defense, and then the second half I had the offense and defense, our offense and defense faces. So in that second half, I was like, that's the prime, like, that's the most fun way to shoot action is when you got our guys' faces and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm right there out of halftime, and the Kip 6, the Eli Bowen interception, it's all like right there on my end of the field. Like, I'll never forget those moments. They're like running around in the end zone in front of you. I mean, that's awesome. And then once I was on a big camera lens, like you can see a long ways on it. So I was up in the stands when the field rush happened with a couple minutes left. I went up to the top of the student section and went from up there. So I was shooting down at the field.
Oh, wow.
I was just sitting there laughing when it was premature, and I had like, I'm looking at people's reactions, like BV's yelling at people, get off the field.
I just remember being in the stadium, in the stands, and me and my buddy Cole were like, we're getting on this field. We're getting on this field today. Like, I'm walking down the street before, I'm like, we're getting on this field. We went to the student section, and like 5 minutes into this game, it's like the student section collapsed in half. I'm like face first, with somebody, like I'm like in their first bubble, and we're all trying to get down there. I jumped off the tunnel. It was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, it made it real hard for me to get up. I had to go from the bottom of the student section through all that to the top of it. And I'm carrying camera equipment. It was a trek getting up there, and I gotta give my wife a shout out. She might have changed the luck. Back then, she was my fiance, and that was the one game that year that she decided not to go to. I'm not saying that was the reason we won, but it might have been.
So she's still not going into games, right?
Kendall's the reason that we lost all the games that year.
It couldn't have been me.
Now, I will say this. We did talk about, you shooting. Growing up, being a lifelong OU fan, do you have a specific moment etched in your brain?
Hey, time out. Dillon Ballard was not an OU fan till when?
Listen, okay, I grew up an Oklahoma State fan my whole life.
He was a little bro fan his whole life.
I was probably the annoying Oklahoma State fan. I thought we were the best thing ever. And
all right, we can be done with this.
Yeah. So,
we went on the good side finally.
All right, I ended up going to OU for college, and it was, kind of my senior year of high school. Once I knew I was going to OU, kind of that football season, my senior year of high school, 2021, it was the Caleb Williams season.
Okay.
That's about when I flipped. So,
well, that'd be good information to tell somebody before you're on the pod.
Yeah, tell them right.
All that matters now is I'm on the right side.
Yeah, that one, he's a great guy, he's a big OU fan. That one kind of seemed to slip over, some.
Hey, we really don't talk about this past trauma.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't. Me and Tate. Shout out Tate. He's actually behind the camera right now doing all of our audio right now. Me and Tate and everybody, we just bullied Dillon all, and he was walking around that little pistol piece there. It's like, dude.
Well, it's something.
From head to toe.
I'm glad that you swallowed your pride and came to the good side. Being from the good side, that just took my breath away.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble on that one. But I'm on the good side now.
No, it's all good. Now, since you have been an OU fan, what's the favorite memory? What's the favorite memory? Where you were just able to be a fan, you weren't working or anything like that. Do you have the memory that's like, wow, this team's awesome?
Well, my freshman year, I was. That was really the only time I've gotten to just be a fan. My freshman year, I didn't
Yeah.
work any games up until the spring game. That was my first game I ever worked. So the others, I was just a fan, but we weren't very good. Had I had a tragic intramural football injury, so I had to miss like the last half of the season going to games. Since then, it's different because like when you're shooting a game, you're kind of following the action, so you're getting what's going on, but it's different than watching a game from the stands or at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, being a fan, I mean, the Michigan game was just awesome for me this year. I loved every second of that. It felt like a new beginning, like we're so back.
It
Type of
was.
deal.
That was.
Yeah, that's it. We went to when was it? We went to it was the Blacks Bedlam game in Norman. You were with us.
Mhm.
We were sitting in the student section. We're in the bottom one. And it was like me, Dylan, Kendall, Dylan's wife, Tyler, Joyce. We had a whole bunch. We had a big group there. Ty Chadrick was there. He's an OSU fan.
Uh-huh.
But I remember vividly that game was so cold.
I was at that was, what was that?
It was freezing.
22?
Yeah.
That was 23. 22. That was 22.
It was
That was 22.
yeah, it was the last
Yeah,
Bedlam
22.
game.
It was
Yeah,
22.
22.
And I remember Alberto went to the bathroom at the start of the game, and OU scored 4 touchdowns by the time he came back. He missed the entire game, like the scoring of the game. But I remember that was like kind of like the first memories. Like Dylan's an actual OU fan. Dylan's got his OU gear on, and like we're playing OSU and Dylan's group. I'm like, this is like,
telling
oh,
you,
this is
bro,
awesome.
I
Does it-
flip. It happened. There's no. If they're playing, there's no doubt. It's OU, and you
That's-
also can't forget that we met a celebrity on our way into that game.
Yes.
We ran up on James Draws coming into that
James
game. Got an
Draws.
autograph.
Hey, Barnesville legend.
Yeah.
He's a legend. I'm actually from Barnesville, and so
So we ran up on him. We're like, this is James Draws. Like, we all ran over there to him, got pictures.
he got in the locker room after that game, didn't he?
Yeah, so, yeah, that's good.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome.
So now switching, we've learned who you are, kind of like you're just loving of OU football and stuff. So now let's kind of go on to like this year. Me and Bryce have been talking about the past few podcasts, the expectations for this year, like the keys to success for this team, what we can do to make it to Atlanta and everything. So give us some of your keys to success of this team. What do you think in position groups that have to improve for us, and just your overall thoughts on this year?
Yeah, I think one big thing for me is I think the offense will be much improved this year for several reasons. I think there's a lot of things that are going to open up. You lose a couple pieces, but I think we did a good job in the portal adding receivers that can give us some explosives. A big thing for me is the tight ends. I think that will completely change our offense. I loved everything Jaron did at OU, and that was such a great move by him to come over to offense. But I think the identity of our offense will change a lot. I think you really have 2 to 3 tight ends that can be on the field at any given time. With Hayden Hansen, Rocky Beers, Jack Van Dorselaar, I think that really changes things for Arbuckle and what he can do. He can really open some things up when you can, if you want to get in 12, 13 personnel and be fully confident, and those tight ends, you can. That's something that he hadn't been able to do yet at OU, and
Yeah.
I think that'll really open a lot of things up. I think you've got even deeper at running back on top of X and Torrey, and then you got Lloyd Avant, DeZephan Walker, Jonathan Hatton. I think you're really deep there. Offensive line, I think will improve, all being another year of experience. You had 3 freshmen last year, Adam Marion Harris at tackle. I mean, I think it's going to be a solid year of improvement on offense.
Yeah, that's good. We couldn't agree more. We were talking about the improved tight end room in the last podcast. We're really excited to see, because that's kind of like what you're saying. A lot of teams just stacking 2 high safeties against us.
And it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Especially it makes the quarterback position so much harder when
Mm-hmm.
the running game is non-existent. I think something that we talked about is we have the coaches, you know, like last podcast, we have the coaches, we have the staff, you know, we have the players. Now it's just executing. It really is just executing. And that kind of leads us right into our next question. One of our final questions for you is, what game are you most looking forward to?
I think one of the games that I'm most looking forward to is the A&M game. That game hadn't been played in a long time. I think
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit extra. I don't know if you can call it a rivalry, but it feels like almost a rivalry, old school Big
Yeah.
12 game.
Yeah.
And I really think that game could almost be a playoff elimination game. If
I think
both
so,
of our
too.
seasons go the way I think it will. I think one of those teams is leaving there with a loss that really hurts.
Yeah.
And I hope we're going to be on the right side of that.
Yeah.
I think what helps us for that game is it's in Norman.
Yes.
It's in Norman, you know, and you know, our fans do show out, and we do tend to play a lot better, you know, under our lights. You know, I mean, as of recent, we played really good under other lights as well. But I think that gives us a lot of confidence with it being in Norman. So I think that's really
Yeah,
important.
that's what the A&M game, like what you're trying, it almost feels like the LSU game last year. You know, it's that last home game. It's like, okay, like if we win, you're in. You know, I like how you said it. Like, there's going to be playoff implications in that game.
That is shaping up to be a playoff film.
Yeah, so that's good. But that, you know, Dylan, you know, we love all the answers. You know, we're so excited to have you on here still. You know, for you guys that made it this long, guys, now it is time for the big game of the podcast today. Okay?
Game of the podcast of the week.
What we're going to do, all three of us, me, Bryson, and Dylan, we are going to be drafting our OU all-time football team. So what this entails right here, so each of us is going to draft a quarterback, two running backs, two receivers, a flex, and then a year of offensive alignment, and then a year of defense. So once a person or team or year has been picked, you are not allowed to pick that person again. So our producer over here, Tate, is going to be popping up a wheel for us right here. So how this goes, Tate's going to spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on gets to pick that person on that round. So whenever Tate is ready, Tate will pop up this wheel right here, and then we're going to go ahead and get going.
All right, so first will be the coach, who's...
No better for the guest.
Hey, guess who's first? I like this.
All right,
For my coach, I'm taking Barry Switzer.
Nice.
Beat it. Debatably the GOAT of OU football coaching. I mean, it's a tough conversation, but I'm going with Switzer on this one.
You took my coach right there, right off the bat.
I know, I'm not happy. I'm not happy, but I will say, well, there's some good coaches still on the board, you know.
There is.
And so I'm excited.
Hey.
All I need is my name to get picked right here.
Great pick, Dylan. So now for round 2 of this. And of course, I am last. So Bryson gets to pick.
This one, I had to go with Bud. I was between him and Bob. I'm assuming Bob's going now. But 47-game win streak, couple national championships, really good record. Got to go with Bud.
Nice. So, I mean, I guess I'll pick now to the last right here. But of course, like what Bryson said, I'm going to go with Bob Stoops. You know, Bob Stoops' record over his time from 1999 to 2016, he was 190 and 48. So that's a 798% win percentage. You know, he won 1 national championship, had 10 conference titles, 18 bowl games, you know. So I don't think any of these coaches were the wrong pick. I think those are the top 3 GOATs of Oklahoma football history. And so, yeah, I think that is a phenomenal little coaching right there. Shout out, Tate, for putting us all on little spreadsheets so you guys can see this. So
I will say this is a competition, you know, and so we'll post it. You know, we need to find the winner. We need to find the winner. We'll have some stipulations come football season with our record predictions and things like that.
I love it. So all right, so now we got the coaches. So now let's move on to quarterbacks. So the first pick of this round.
Come on.
You are joking.
It's on the line.
I like this wheel.
Dude.
Well, I really don't think there's an argument here. You know, I had my hometown guy, Jason White, on my list, but I'm going to have to go with Baker on this one.
No, we can't fight for that. You know, arguably, if not the greatest college football quarterback of all time, you know, a lot of homers. Hey, phenomenal pick right there. All right, pick number 2. There we go. Let's get some love going right here.
No!
You know, I'm going to go ahead. I am going to go with Kyler Murray.
No!
You know, I know that was Bryson's pick. But, just looking at Kyler Murray, he's following, like what we were just talking about, if not the greatest college quarterback of all time, some big shoes to fill. And, boy, he filled those shoes pretty well. His stats, he had 4,361 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards rushing, and also 2018 Heisman Trophy winner,
Going into this, I was kind of leaning towards taking Kyler. A hot take with the first pick.
Wow.
I mean, I just said hot take. And if you watch this guy in person, just the way he moves, unlike anything else, I'm just like, wow. So it would have been a little controversial. So I'm having him go third. I mean, Sam Bradford, we should have won. We should have won a national championship with them. Arguably, one of the best OU quarterbacks of all time. And so I'm not mad about my picks there.
That's good. I like that. Okay, so now moving on from quarterbacks, now let's go draft our first running back. Hopefully, Dillon does not get the first overall pick on this one. If not, there's some.
All right.
Come on, keep going.
Come on, I thought it was going to give it to me.
Oh. All
right. So this one is pretty interesting. I've got two really good names on here, but I'm going to go all day. I'm going to go Adrian Peterson with my first pick. He was a stud. Had a really good career afterwards. There's some other names on here. I'm not going to give any clues on who.
He's hiding it. I got a little divider on this game right here.
All day. All right. And so then, oh my God.
Just keep going. Hey, hopefully this one gets on me right here.
So that means they can draft my flex, right?
Of course I'm last. Of course I'm last. All right. So Dillon.
Personally, I've got to go. This is tough. I'm going to go with Billy Sims, Heisman winner.
I don't mind that. I love Billy Sims simply for the fact that he's such an OU guy.
Yes.
He's such an OU guy. Every year we win Heisman. Boomer!
And he's got a good barbecue restaurant.
And he's got good barbecue.
Billy Sims Barbecue, sponsor us.
Barbecue is bigger points for me, honestly. Come on.
All right, so now that I'm the last pick of this first round of Oklahoma running backs, there's no other. Now I'm going to go with Steve Owens.
That's a good pick. That's a great pick.
I think that's a good pick. He also was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he just carried that Oklahoma's offense in 69. So I'm going to go with Steve Owens right there. So for the first round of the running backs, we got Bryson picking Adrian Peterson, Dillon Billy Sims, and then I got Steve Owens. So now shifting on to our second round running back picks. The first pick of this round will be.
Let's go. Wait, we're picking a receiver.
Are we doing receiver right?
Two receivers.
Okay, two receivers. That's on me. All right. So for the receivers, Bryson's up first.
Hey, I think this is the most underrated receiver in all of college football history. His name does not get talked about enough. Give me D.D. Westbrook.
Nice.
What's the Cup winner? He was insane, and so I'm really thoroughly happy with that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really can't argue with that one right there. Big money, and of course, what is up with this wheel? What is up with it? It'll be the last every time.
This one I feel like is a pretty easy pick. I'm going C.D. Lamb, one of the most talented receivers to ever play at OU. I don't know. I just think it's pretty obvious second choice there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
He should have won Blitnikoff if he didn't run into Jamar Chase.
He still should have won the Blitnikoff. Who won it that year? Wasn't it
I think it was Jamar Chase
or something? The guy from UMass?
I think it was Jamar Chase. I want to say it was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, we'll look it up on that one. Who won the Blitnikoff in? What year would that have been?
2019.
Was it 2019?
2019.
Yeah, who won the Blitnikoff?
Jamar
Chase. So, yeah, Jamar Chase. He just kind of got out of luck right there.
The receiving talents that you were just through the roof.
Yeah.
So, he was a stud. Kind of probably should have,
Yeah, just bad luck right there.
Big target.
That's a tough opponent for the Blitnikoff.
So for my first round wide receiver pick, I gotta go with no other than Ryan Broyles. So in 2008 to 2011, Ryan Broyles, he has the school record for receptions with 349, had over 4,500 receiving yards, which is still a school record, 45 receiving touchdowns, and just he's one of the most productive receivers Oklahoma's ever had in their history. So I think that's just an obvious pick for me since those two greats got picked ahead of him. I'm gonna go with Ryan Broyles.
So
So
we might have missed running back. I might have been wrong on the running back.
did we miss Ryan Broyles?
Did we miss the running back? We'll do running back after this.
Hey, finally. So I'm first on this. Okay, so we have another wide receiver. So for this one, for the tier 2 of my wide receiver, I'm going to go with no one other than Sterling Shepard, Mr. Reliable of Oklahoma football. I'm telling you, he was the guy that you knew when number
I fell in
three,
love.
when number 3 was out there at slot, you knew we could throw it to him and something good was going to happen. You know, some memorable moments. Everybody, when you think of Sterling Shepard, you think of him diving into the city, jumping over them, and just iconic. So I think that's a pretty obvious one for me, Sterling Shepard. So let's go. Who got next pick? Reesman.
Oh my god.
No.
I'll take it. No.
Dylan. I'll take it. I'm gonna go with Kenny Stills.
Wow. I didn't have them on my board, but I was like thinking I'm going kids. No.
Great.
Sorry to take your pick, but
That was
I
good.
mean, I like that. one.
No.
What a pick, Dylan. I didn't think anyone was going to pick him, honestly.
I was going.
I did not think anyone was going to pick him. Hey, good pick. All right, so Bryson, now that you got your last option on this, who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Mark Clayton on this one. Mark Clayton.
There we go. I like that.
I think that's good. I was gonna go Kenny Stills. Right there, the sleeper. I was like convinced that was a sleeper. But I'll go Mark Clayton.
I like that one.
I don't mind that at all. He's stud.
I like that. So let's go back on to the second running back one, and then we'll go to tight ends after. Okay, so let's go to the running back one right here, and let's see our tier 2 running backs. That's all in. Bryson.
Mark Murray.
Nice.
No hesitation.
I like that. DeMarco right there, just straight to it. DeMarco. I like it. So, all love DeMarco. He was our running backs coach for quite a bit, and a lot of people had some words to say about him. Personally, I was a big DeMarco Murray fan. I thought he was one of the best recruiters in the nation at his position group. And all love to DeMarco.
We are going to miss his recruiting. He was a really good, phenomenal recruit. We had the number 1 running back already lined up. Sad to see him go, but I think it was time to move on. And kind of go in different directions.
Yeah. Sweet. So Dylan.
There we go. I'm going with Samaje Perine. He is the OU rushing leader. 4,122 yards, single game rushing record.
If he's still holding
427 yards. Dominant second back.
I like that. That's a phenomenal pick, Dylan. I love Samaje. I remember watching Samaje break the rushing record, the single game rushing record, the week after Melvin Gordon broke it.
Yeah.
Like Kansas pouring rain, watching him rush for over 400 yards. That's a good pick right there.
That is a really good pick.
So now I'm gonna go on. I'm torn between either Joe Mixon or Kennedy Brooks. I think I'm going to go Kennedy Brooks.
Okay.
I think that's a sleeper pick. I think Kennedy was a phenomenal running back. He had 3 1,000-yard season rusher. He rushed for 1,000 yards for 3 seasons. So that's pretty hard to do. I mean, he was Mr. Consistent, rushed for over 3,300 yards and 31 touchdowns in his 3 years as a tailback. So I think that's going to be my sleeper pick. I'm rocking with Kennedy. So now we're moving on to tight ends. And let's see who the first pick is. And I think that's going to be me.
No.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to go with Trent Smith as my tight end.
Wow, okay.
I am. I think Trent Smith, he set the school record for receptions by a tight end. And I think that was Jason White's favorite target. Maybe, Dylan, we can ask Jason White who his favorite target was.
Maybe you can.
So I'm going to go with Trent Smith on this one. So now let's see who gets the second pick of the tight end. And it's going to be Dylan.
All right, with my tight end, I think the OU tight end GOAT, Keith Jackson.
Nice.
Back-to-back unanimous All-American, 5-time
Nice.
NFL Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Can't beat it.
I like it. I like it. Great pick.
I was in a position which was going to be really funny to rip off Joe John. I was going to rip off Joe John.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got two great tight ends. I'm going to go Jermaine Gresham.
Nice. Nice.
Good pick.
That's a great pick.
Man, Cruz was still on there too.
We talking about Grant Calcaterra?
Grant would have been great.
We talked about him before we started. Like, dude, he had that memorable one-hand catch in the Big 12 championship game. It's like he kind of won us that game right there with that one-hand catch.
That one-hand catch was. I mean, if he wasn't so injury-prone, he would have been great.
He would have been
great, and especially again the receptions that he did get.
Yeah.
With that tight end staff that we used to have.
Yeah.
Which.
So now let's move on. Is it defense tape?
Or
Our flex. Nice. And so our flex position is going to be any offense position that we want. Running back, receiver, tight end. First pick goes to Dylan.
Of course.
All right, I got one for you, boys. We're going Marcus Dupree, the best that never was.
Nice.
And now this is considering he stayed healthy forever. I mean, he was one of the most talented football players ever. Give me a healthy Marcus Dupree.
I like it. What a pick right there. Nice. Heck yeah. All right, so let's see who gets the second pick of this. Sit. There we go, right there. Sit. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to go with one of the most electrifying college football players. I'm going with Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go with Hollywood Brown as my flex. You should think he had over 2,400 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns. He was an elite deep threat. Some of the most memorable plays he had, of course, we're talking about in our first podcast, his slant that he took to the crib against the little bro. That was kind of his breakout game he had to, they want, hey, they got a dude out there.
Yeah. No, he didn't even, I didn't even hear Hollywood until that game. And that was the last game of the season. I was like, dude, that was his kid. It's kid.
Gus Johnson, just the Hollywood Brown.
Holly, lights, camera, action.
Electric. So now Bryson's got his flex pick.
I'm going to go. Let's go here with Joe Mixon.
Nice.
Joe Mixon. He was a stud. His incident in his freshman year really, I feel like, tarnished his legacy. But this guy was a stud. He was a day one NFL starter. He had 1,274 rushing yards, 538 receiving yards. He was a stud in every aspect. He took over games, especially with P. Ryan. He really took over games. I was really wishing that after that win versus Auburn that we would have been able to keep Joe.
I don't know.
But I feel like he would have really shined, and he probably would have went day one the following year. I think that instead of freshman year really hurt him, but he was a stud.
Yeah. So, all right, so now moving on to the offensive linemen. So for this part, for the offensive linemen in the defense section, we're going to pick by year. So we're not going to pick individual players. We're just going to pick the whole group as it is. So for the first pick in this, for the offensive lineman, it goes to Bryson.
I was between two, but I've got to go with the Joe Moore Award winners, the 2018 Oklahoma O-line. I would have seen that in the 17, but with Krieg, Bobby, and Cody, Ben Powers, Drew. It's a great offensive line, and
It's good pick.
54 total TDs that year.
Wow.
So
That's a great pick right there. Nice pick. I like that. Good team go off right there. So my pick next. So I'm going to bounce right off to that. I'm going to go with the 2008 offensive line. So I think left tackle Phil, Low Holt, left guard Duke Robinson, center was John Cooper, Brian Walker, and then Brandon Braxton. So the key backups of that year was Trent Williams and then Donald Stevenson. So why I think the number one, they just paved the way for the highest scoring offense in college football year. So they scored 716 points, and they averaged 51.1 points per game. So I think it all starts up front. So I'm going to go for 2008 offensive line for my pick.
Well, I'm at the end finally, and I'll take the 2017 offensive line.
Nice.
A lot of the same guys that 2018 offensive line, but I mean, your quarterback doesn't win the Heisman without a banger of an offensive line.
Good point. That's a great point, right?
I think the difference between the two was really, I'm pretty sure Big Zeus was on that team. Big Zeus.
Oh yeah.
He was Orlando Brown, which we really didn't miss a beat without him. But no, Orlando Brown was one of my favorite all-time linemen.
It's a nice one. Good. So sweet. So now we're going to go on to the defense part of this. Now let's see who gets the first overall pick for the defense side of the ball. And no other than the one, me. So I'm going to go. This might be very biased, and people might flame me for this one. I'm going to go with the 2025 Oklahoma defense. I'm telling you, that defense was stellar. I'm telling you, just thinking it. Not that I can remember very far back last year. I had R. Mason, David Stone, Jaden Jackson, Kip Lewis, Kendall Daniel. Yeah, I can name that whole thing. I just think if you look at all the competition we played, especially like this era of college football, I know it's air raid, the offenses, it's just out the window, just the different stuff people do, and what the games that we won solely off of this defense alone. I think that's going to go down as one of the best defenses in Oklahoma history.
That will.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I agree with you, but I'm gonna be really mad if I don't get picked.
Oh. Hate to do it to you, Bryson. And this may not even be the one you were going for, but I'm going for the 2000 defense, the national championship defense. You got Rocky Calmus, Roy Williams, Torrance Marshall, one of the best coin toss moments ever. They took his boys' trophy, and he was getting it back. 2 points. Held the other team to 2 points in the national championship game. Chris Winkie didn't deserve the Heisman.
Facts. Hey, but we won that natty, though. I love it. Like I said, that's the most electrifying coin toss ever. I like it. Great pick.
I'm gonna go with. I'm between two. There's really two good defenses. I've got to go with 03.
Nice.
03, Dusty, Dorvacek. You had Teddy Lehman, Derek Strait, a lot of great names on that defense. And so I was between them and 85, but I just don't really know as much about the 85 team. Of course you have the OU goats on the defense side, Bosworth, but I'm going to go with that was 3.
Yeah, I love it. That's good. Okay, so now the last pick that we have, if not the most important position on this whole football team, is the Oklahoma kicker. Okay, so let's look at the Oklahoma kicker who we're going to pick. And it looks like
keep going.
None other than Dillon is going to get the first pick again.
All right, we've had some good kickers over the years, but I'm torn. I think I'm gonna have to go Austin Seibert, OU all-time scoring leader, 499 points, and I gotta give my guy Kyler Clapper a shout out. Don't know if he's as good as his trainer was, but gotta shout him out. Go with Austin Seibert here.
Nice. Love it. I love it. Like what he said, the all-time scoring leader at Oklahoma. And hey, that's a good one. Okay, keep going.
No, that's give me Michael Honeycutt.
Oh, there you go.
OU field goal leader, stud all around. We've had some really good success with kickers here recently. And so Michael Honeycutt is going to be mine.
I like it. So to wrap up this whole draft, to solidify that my team will go down as the best all-time Oklahoma team ever picked, I'm going to go with Tate Sindel. Another homer pick from last year. I'm going to go with Tate, the short shorts. Exactly, Dylan. Every time he made a flip, he come out some biker shorts. But that boy's got a rocket of a leg on his body. I'm telling you. Shout out Tate Sindel reposting our post a few last week. And I might be a little biased because he reposted it. I mean, if any of you former players watch, if you repost it, you might make the all-time. But I am going to go with Tate Sindel. Just you look at the season he had last year. I mean, one of the best seasons as a kicker. I think going till that last playoff game, he only missed one field goal, and that was like the first game of the year, the Michigan game, I think. So I'm gonna solidify my team as Tate Sindel.
So we've got 3 really good teams. Wow, this was fun to do.
Yeah.
On the podcast, of course, having Dylan in here, and you'll see him a lot more often. As soon as the season rolls around, picking and stuff like that. He'll be pretty key. So it was really good to introduce him. I mean, that's fun to do. If you made it this far, which we hope you have.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to hear what you think about our picks, and kind of go into that, and you got to pick a winner. And
Yeah.
so,
Give us take who you think did a really good job and who did a really poor job. Like what Bryson said, it was such a fun episode. Dylan, everyone give it up for Dylan for being the first special guest of the year. We had
Thank
such
you
a
guys.
fun
I
time with
appreciate
you.
you having me.
We had such a fun time doing this. Another shout out. Let's give a lot of credit to the guy who's behind the camera. He doesn't get a lot of. He's not going to be shown on it, but for Tate, our brother, for doing this. All the stuff you guys see, all the wheel, the typing, a lot of it, all that is Tate. So special thanks to Tate and just all you guys who watch out there. We just really appreciate all you guys taking time out of your day to just watch 2-3 goofballs talk about OU football and pick their teams, So, but thank you again. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us and all the publicity you guys are giving us. And just again, we're just doing this for the love of the game. So, thank you guys. We can't wait to tune in next time, and we'll get after it next time. Okay, everyone right here, hey, Boomer.
Boomer.